Hey everyone, welcome to CAD Thinkers. In this video, we're going to be doing an introduction to Tinkercad. Let's get started. So first, you're going to get into your web browser and type in tinkercad.com at the top. Now from here, you need to sign in or log in or sign up to make an account. If you already have an account, then you would log in. If you don't, you would sign up. I have an account, so I'm going to log in. From here, you'd pick which of these four methods you want to log in by. I have a personal account, so I'm going to select the personal account option. And then from here you have three ways that you can log in. When I made my account, used my Gmail, so I'm going to sign in with Google. And now I'm going to be prompted to sign in with my Google account. Now, if you want to create a new design, maneuver over to the Create button on the right hand side of the screen and select 3D design. Now you're going to see a wide array of options. On the right side you can see basic shapes with various different kinds of things you can add in and all these different tools on the screen which we're going to look into. First, let's see how to drag and drop a shape into here. I'm going to take a cube on the right side and add it in. Now as you can see, I have all these different ways that I can adjust the shape. For example, the color. I can change it from red into, let's say, blue. And along with that, I can change the dimensions of the shape. So here you can see that it is 20 by 20 by 20. But let's say that I want to make it 10 by 10 by 10. I would go and I have two options. Either A, I can drag the corners to make it smaller, or I can select the number that corresponds to the length. So here I have 20, and just type in 10. And once again, this is all the time. I can rotate it and 10. If I want to move the shape around on the platform, I can grab it and move it around to any place I want. As for raising it up off the surface, I would grab the red cone right here and pull it up. And you can see that it gives you the distance from off the surface that it is, so 49. But let me bring it down back to the ground. Along with that, I can rotate the shape, and that is done through these arrows, like here. And once again, I can do that in all three dimensions. This way, and this way. Next, let's see how to cut holes into shapes. So let's say I want to cut a cylindrical hole into this cube. I can grab a cylinder from the side, and first let's make it small enough to fit in the cube. So I'm going to make this, let's say 5 by 5, and the length really doesn't matter for what I'm about to show you. Now here, as you can see where the color option is, I can also select hole. So I'm going to click the hole option, and here you can see that it has this sort of transparent look. So now I'm going to grab it and put it somewhere near the middle of the shape, like so. And I'm going to push it a little bit down so it goes all the way through the shape. And then I'm going to, holding the Shift key, select the blue cube first. Then also click on the hole. So now if you notice they're both selected together. And then hit the merge button right over here. Or in other words, the group button. Now, that also gives you an introduction as to how you can group shapes. So let's say I want to get a cylinder here and move them both together in the exact same way. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, holding the Shift key, first select the blue cube, and then select the cylinder. So now if I want to raise them both up the same distance, I can just do so like that. And similarly, if I want to shift them both to the right, to the left, all around, and even rotate them, they'll move together like so. Now, once I'm finished grouping them, if I want to separate them back into two separate figures, I can simply hit the ungroup button right here. Next, let's see how to group shapes together. So let's say I want to get another one of these cubes right here and attach it onto this blue cube. What I can do is put it right next to the other shape, and then selecting the blue cube, with holding the Shift key, I select the blue cube, then the red cube, and I can hit this group button right here. Now if you'll notice, they're connected together as one shape, indicated by the red cube turning blue. So now, if I raise them up, move them down, rotate them around, they're going to move together. And now, let's say I want to ungroup them, I simply hold on to this and hit the ungroup button. Notice, if I hit the ungroup button once more, now the hole is undone and the transparent cylinder becomes separate from the blue cube. But I don't want to do that, so let me regroup them together. Next, let's look into the squiggle tool. So let's say that you're trying to make a particular shape that you just can't find with the options given here, even when you look into all the various different things here. What you can do is get the squiggle tool and drop it onto the screen. Now, as you can see, I have my cursor here and I can draw anything I want which will form into a shape. So let's see what I can do. As you can see, if I hit the done button right here, I now have a shape that says CAD Thinkers, which is what I wrote using the squiggle tool. And once again, I can of course change the dimensions of the figure, rotate it around, bring it up and down, and all sorts of different things. Now, an important tool that you're going to want to utilize once you start making large and complex structures is the ruler tool. So here's what it is. I'm going to put it on the screen at some corner point. And now what you'll notice is if I put a shape onto the screen, it'll tell me the distance from that origin that my shape is. So if I want to move around the shape using to a specific distance, I can just alter these two numbers right here. So let's say I want to make it exactly lie on this ruler line. I can set the 71 distance to 0. And let's say I want it to be 51 off to the right side. Well, I'll just use the number 51. And in other words, the whole point of this structure is that it allows you to now make the whole grid into a coordinate plane, making it a lot easier to move things around and keep everything very, very organized. In fact, if I add another shape onto here, now what you'll see is I can see the exact distance between the two. I know that this one is 47 off in that direction, and the length of this cube is 20. Therefore, the distance between the two cubes here would be 47 minus 20, so 27 units. And this makes it very easy when you're trying to do alignment, but there's even tools for that which we'll hear about in the next video. Now, the final thing that you're going to want to use is the notes tool. So let's say I drop a note onto my red cube here. Now, I can write specific information on this cube. So let's say red cube, I can maybe talk some information about its distance, so 51 away from origin, and other stuff like that. Now, this gets especially helpful when you make really, really complex objects. So let's say I get a cylindrical hole of 10 by 10, and I add this into the cube. After that, I try to put a little cone on here as well. Once again, I merge the two together. Now, if I look at this on the outside, I don't know that there's a hole there. So what I can use, I can drop a note onto here saying, of course, 20 by 20 by 20, cube pyramid, but also say that there's a 10 by 10 hole inside the cube. And this allows me to keep everything organized and really just remember everything that's going on. So that's going to be it for this video. In the next part, you're going to see some more information as to specific tools that really help you make your structures look amazing. Thanks for watching.